Hey there, it's Mark from Men Who Bullet, and I'm so excited because I just received my brand new handmade watercolors all the way from Australia from Peppercon Arts. I am such a fan of her watercolors. I already have 4 of them here that I've been using for quite some time. And I also have some of these small dots as well, where you get little samples of some of the watercolor if you don't want to go all in for the larger palette. But this time I tried something a little bit different. This will be the first time that I got myself one of the sets of the watercolors, but then I went for the really big dot grid. This is just like a little baby dot grid. I went for the big dots. That is an entire collection, but just a sample of them. So in today's video, we're gonna unbox, take a look at everything that I got. Of course, take a look at the awesome packaging. Connie always does the cutest little notes and packaging inside of here. And then also we're gonna do some swatches because the really cool dot card has extra space where you can start to see some of the color. And then we're also going to swatch the brand new palette that I got as well. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and do first the unboxing. I always love unboxing things from Connie and Peppercon Arts because you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes she throws in little surprises like we got right here. So we have a note, care instructions, we'll get a little freebie color, one of the packages here, a little tea, and then one of the dot cards that's here as well. So that's super nice. So let's go ahead and first just take a look at some of the other pieces that came in here, little notes, and then we'll go ahead and unwrap and swatch the different packages that we got too. Gotta love that. It's a little cute tea here from her. Thank you very much for that. Put that over here. We do have a little freebie, little green over here, which we can swatch as well. And we have a note. Dear Mark, thank you so much again for the order. I hope you love these new mushroom colors. Best wishes from Connie. Nice little package. I always love that. I always keep her little notes and sometimes some of the parts of the packaging because it's so nice. And I just love the little notes. It's super great. All right, care instructions. These colors have had a long journey. Because of the organic ingredients used in this product, we advise you to unwrap the pans upon arrival. No problem, I will be doing that. Due to change in humidity in transit, to avoid any chance of paint sticking to the wrapping, you can place the palette in a freezer for 15 minutes before unwrapping. Happy painting from Connie. I'm not going to do that because I'm too impatient. I think we'll be okay. I've never had issues before. If you haven't purchased anything from Peppercon Arts, she sends, first of all, so many different palettes that I already have. This I had was the Jasper collection with a golden fuchsia that I got one time as like little freebies from her. I also have the Geology 3 from her. It's all just a big collection, basically. I've got the other Geology one. You know, the Mercury to Saturn has a beautiful iridescent to it. And what's cool about these and why they can be a little bit expensive, but it's because of the premium qualities. You know, when you're dealing with something like this Geology 3 collection and you're looking at something like red marble, you know, this is actually being made from actual minerals and pigments. This isn't fake. I remember her telling me about some of these colors, for instance, with like the lapis, for instance, like that's made with actual lapis pigments, right? This isn't, it's kind of your run-of-the-mill mass creation. She's doing all of these by hand, milling them. Another reason I love watching her videos is watching her make the watercolors. It's really amazing. So whenever she has new collections come out, I approach them in 2 different ways. Sometimes I buy the small shell pans, like these, for instance. They're cool because they are magnetized at the bottom, so they usually don't move around. So a lot of the times I will try to set up where the colors are so I know what they look like with the little color palette inside of here. Sometimes I go all out and I will buy myself a full pan instead of just the little shells. This has a lot more watercolor in them. This was just beautiful colors. I had to have the whole pan, no doubt about it. And then sometimes you can get small dot cards if you just want to try some colors. Like I just realized that I never did a swatch on these, but some of these I did here. So when I went into these new collections, I wanted to try different things. And a lot of the times I base it off of the colors and colors that I think I would use and how much I think that I would use them, if that all makes any type of sense. So I went with 2 different ones this time around. This one here we'll unwrap next is called the Mini Mushroom Set. And this had some really cool colors in it. Let's open it up. And then I just got the dot grid of the Wildwood collection, which has a lot of different colors. And so the options for that one were to buy like smaller pans of just some of the colors. And I would have had to, I think, maybe bought like 2 pans of them or like a larger pack or just the dots. And when I was looking through the colors, I liked a lot of them and I thought that I would use a lot of them, but I wasn't sure exactly how much. So I just went with the dot here. But the mini mushroom I got because of these colors. So a little note in here. These colors are handmade with love and care. Hope they will bring you much joy and happiness. From Connie. So here's what we got. Let me just take these out because they need to go back right where they were so I know what colors are where and back inside of here. So here's what I got inside of this one. There's a lemon ochre color. There's a Havana ochre. There's a Venetian red, Verona green, a Mayan blue, and a burnt umber. And I cannot wait to actually swatch these as I create my little pile over here and unwrap each one. They are magnetized on the bottom, so they'll be able to stick nicely inside of the pan. All right, so let's first go ahead and I'm just gonna put just a little bit of water on each one of these. I don't need to use like a ton of water because I'm just doing like real quick swatches of these. So I'm just gonna do a light color. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this off here to the side. And while we're just gonna give that a minute to set in, let's go ahead and swatch the dot cards. So again, I went with the dot card on this one just because I loved all of the colors, but I didn't want to go all in for the full palettes. I think that these are super cool. I love some of these names like Dragon Blood. How cool is that? But I just wasn't quite sure like if I was going to do the whole palette. So this was like a smart way, I'll call it, for me to kind of get everything. Okay, so the first color that we have here is called Rogue. Is it Pazuli? I'm probably not saying that correctly, but that's what that looks like. Okay. And then this next one is the Verona Green Earth. And I think this is actually the same color that we got in the palette. So the Wildwood collection was like kind of 2 different ones put together. The mushroom, and then there was another one, I think, too. So some of the colors will be repeats. Okay, like the lemon ochre, for instance, that is definitely on the other one. And what I loved about these colors is like, I have primary colors already for a lot of my watercolors, but these are just they're so beautiful. That's why I always go back to Peppercon Arts, just because I think she makes beautiful colors. And I love that I know her, and I know that she puts a lot of time and patience into what she does. Okay, it says Nicosia Green Earth, is that one? Oh no, I was reading that wrong. I have the Verona Green Earth. This was Nicosia, I think, is how you would say that. Okay, Dragon's Blood. This one sounds fun. These are so much more than just basics. All right, this is the, say it's barite white. I don't think a lot of this is really gonna show up on here, obviously, because it's white. So I don't think we're really gonna get a whole lot of anything. It has like a slight little pigment to it, but not a whole lot. Okay. Next is going to be Vine Black. So this is just going to be just a nice black to have. I didn't have a black already from any of her collections, so another reason why I wanted to get this dot card. So I have it. And it's not an ultra black color, but definitely very nice. Okay, so Mayan Blue 1. This is one of the colors I was most excited about inside of my palette. Just seeing that color online, I was like, yes, this must be mine. I have to have it. Blue is my favorite color. All right, this is Havana Ochre. These give off such a nice nature vibe. Like, these are all just beautiful colors. Okay, this is Slate Gray. This is another one I was excited to try, but didn't know if I wanted to go in for a full palette on. And I was trying to think about like how much gray do I really use? So I wasn't too sure. French turquoise just sounds fancy, right? Turquoise is one of those colors, like I knew that turquoise was a color, but I really love it. My daughter's like favorite color is turquoise. And it wasn't until like she was like, Dad, it's blues and greens together. And I was like, oh, I like both of those colors. I don't know that I can necessarily like look at something and be like, oh, that's turquoise, but I try. All right, so that's French turquoise. Here's graphite. This is another one I was really excited about. Just a really nice gray, blue gray-ish. I don't know. So it's just a really nice dark color to it. It's beautiful. All right, this one here is called Buff Titanium. So unlike like a white, even though it looks like it's white, it has a lot of pigment to it. Right, this is Burnt Umber. Which is just a staple in watercolors. All of the palettes and stuff that you have, Burnt Umber is a good one. It's a nice, rich color. I just love that. All right, this is Venetian Red. So these are, all the colors I think that are in my palette are on this little card, but I also just like to look at a collection together. Not necessarily like all on here, but I love that I kind of get a really good feel for what these colors are going to look like. All right, this one is Violet Hematite. Violet Hematite. That's rich, 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 rich. Ooh, I really like this color. All right, this one is called Antica Green Earth. Nice. And then this last one here is going to be the burnt sienna. Oh, it's beautiful. I am going to use, this is the second time that I've used my Archer and Olive watercolor notebook. I did all of their watercolors in here last time, so let's open it up. Love this notebook because it has the perforated edges already inside of here, and it's just a full book of colors. It's what it will be at the end. I'm just gonna do all my watercoloring inside of here. All right, so let's just have some fun. The lemon ochre. One of my favorite things to really do with watercolor is like leaves, because I can do them well, because all you're doing is just like upstrokes and you're just pressing the brush down just a little bit. And then you get, you know, all of these great colors and you get these really cool shapes. And who doesn't love leaves, right? Okay, that's that Havana green. And then this will be the Venetian red. I want to say it right. Yeah, Verona GE, which I believe stands for green earth. So it has a really nice, like subtle, kind of jungly green kind of look to it. I'm not really a person that should be talking about the colors. I mean, being partially color deficient, I see colors. I just, some of them start to look alike, like blue purples and yellow greens. So I can see this and be like, yes, that's green, right? Like, obviously, but it's some of them that get a little, you know, into that weird spot. All right, so that's the Mayan blue. It's like, honestly, I'll tell you, that is the reason that I got this full palette, is because of that Mayan blue one. It is the full 100% reason why I got it, because I love that color. Nice. So that's that full palette here. So these are all the Peppercon colors that we saw. So a lot of them are on the dot card that we saw. The lemon ochre, the Havana ochre, the Venetian red. We had the Verona green earth, the Mayan blue one, and burnt umber that all look just absolutely stunning on here. I always love playing with watercolor, and I especially love it when I can help support a good friend of mine. And Connie over at Peppercon Arts I just love that these are handmade. I love that like she's doing it. The colors, the collections are always just so awesome. So make sure if you haven't already checked her out on Instagram, you can check her out at Peppercon Arts. And then also, of course, on her website, which is pepperconarts.com. She has all of her available palettes there for you now. And I just love getting like the little updates. She's like, I have new stuff coming out. Come check it out. And she's just always so kind. And I just love these colors. As you saw, they are pretty amazing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in this video. If you like unboxings, I have an entire playlist here for you of other really cool unboxing products and notebook reviews, so make sure you check that out. I'll talk to you very soon. Happy planning.